Hey, Greysteel Nation, Sully here with the Barbell Prescription. And as near as we can tell, humans have been seeking something like the fountain of youth for at least as long as we've been keeping records. In the age of scientific discovery, with our ability to hack matter right down to the quantum level, our rapidly approaching capacity to rewrite genes and recode our immune systems, advances in material science, and the prospect of massive tissue regeneration, well, the fountain of youth seems closer than ever. Except, probably not. Molecular medicine, nanomedicine, regenerative medicine, and even a revolution in artificial tissues and organs won't turn back the clock. They'll just delay the inevitable. In the far future, they might delay the inevitable for an arbitrarily long time, but only for a time. Time and entropy are implacable. Even so, our ability in the early 21st century to live well into a vibrant and productive and joyful old age is unsurpassed in human history. This is the best time ever to become the person I call the athlete of aging, a fully realized human being who understands that growing old is the most extreme sport of all and is ready to be a champion at it. Today, I'm going to give you 10 critical but simple lifestyle hacks that will allow you to be the athlete of aging you deserve to be. Now, none of these are earth-shattering news. None of them are weird tricks. None of them are available to you without effort. So, for a lot of you, this is going to be a reality check and a reminder that it's possible to age healthy and vital and vibrant, and that the way you do that is rational, familiar, non-mysterious, and hard work. So these hacks aren't really hacks. They're lifestyle habits. They all work, they're all backed up by evidence, and none of them involve drugs or gimmicks or weird tricks. So there's no fountain of youth here. But these changes will change you and help you forge yourself into an athlete of aging. So watch all the way to the end, because number 10 is the solid power move that brings them all together into a single, unified approach to winning at growing older. Number 1, limit alcohol and avoid smoking. I know, duh, but check it out. The data on the effect of smoking continues to just drive more coffin nails into the coffin of coffin nails. For example, there's newer data that shows that even occasional smoking has a measurable detrimental impact on all-cause mortality. And while it's a no-brainer that excessive alcohol intake is bad for you, the literature has been backing off from a previous informal consensus that a little bit might be good for you. That does not actually appear to stand up to scrutiny. And while a bit of wine or liquor every now and then might not hurt you, you wouldn't be wrong to question whether it might not just be easier to eliminate alcohol altogether. Up to you. And as for both smoking and drinking together, yeah, that's been looked at too. And yeah, they're better together for the tobacco, alcohol, and mortuary industries. Bottom line, any level of smoking and anything over very moderate use of alcohol, they're detrimental to health and definitely accelerate aging. If you smoke, seek support to quit, because for you, it's priority number 1 for healthy aging. Limit alcohol intake to moderate levels if you consume alcohol at all. Number 2, drink water. I know what you're thinking. Seriously, Sully? You're giving us the 8 full glasses spiel? Are you some sort of corporate shill for big water?
Hey, come again, man!
Yeah, I know. But the fact of the matter is, the incidence of clinically significant dehydration increases with increasing age. And not just in very elderly, debilitated, institutionalized seniors, but regular community-dwelling seniors like Well, like me, water is essential for numerous bodily functions, including nutrient transport, waste removal, and temperature regulation. So dehydration, even mild dehydration, can lead to fatigue, to cognitive impairment, and other health issues. I took care of thousands of patients in my decades as an emergency doctor. Patients presenting with complaints ranging from fatigue to shortness of breath to mild delirium, who got better when I just gave them some fluids and didn't appear to have anything else wrong with them. Dehydration is associated with frailty and mortality outcomes, and because of autonomic dysregulation in aging populations, thirst responses can be decreased in older adults. Moreover, thirst can often be confused with hunger and result in inappropriate increases in caloric intake. No, you don't have to stick to the hackneyed 8 full glasses cliche. You do need to drink when you're thirsty and pay attention to when you're thirsty. And when you think you're hungry, ask yourself if you're actually just thirsty. And when you are thirsty, your drink of choice should be hydroxyl acid, hydrogen hydroxide, dihydrogen monoxide, H2O, water. Drink water. Use other beverages sparingly, especially for hydration. And for heaven's sake, don't hydrate with sugary beverages. Stay hydrated in hot weather and while exercising. Yes, the impact of hydration on healthy aging is a thing. It's kind of a big deal. I got some references for you in the description. You know I take care of you guys. So let me ask you to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. That helps us help more people. Number 3, engage in preventive care and have a primary care physician. The degree to which regular checkups and screening exams actually impact all-cause mortality is an issue of perennial debate. For example, consider the number needed to screen, closely related to the NNT, the number needed to treat. The number needed to screen is the number of people you have to test to save one life or attain some other patient-oriented outcome. The number needed to screen for many cancer testing modalities is not entirely clear. For example, if you look at one of my favorite sites, the nnt.org, and check out the entry on routine PSA to screen for prostate cancer, well, let's just say it's an eye-opener. It probably doesn't help much at all, and it can lead to harm, meaning it has a non-zero number needed to harm. Mammography doesn't fare very well either. Now, in other literature, these tests are given more sympathetic analyses, but overall, the impact of primary care on all-cause mortality is not entirely clear. But even so, on balance, I do think it's a good idea for aging adults to have an ongoing, continuous relationship with a primary care provider who knows us, cares about us, and will be in a better position as a result to evaluate us over time and when things seem to be changing. Sometimes checkups and screenings do save lives, and so do preventive interventions, including, yes, just to be clear, certain vaccinations. That's right, I said that. Bottom line, I think it's worthwhile for you to find a physician you like and trust to partner with you in your journey through time in the health space. Number 4, manage stress. Chronic stress takes a toll on both physical and mental health. Now here, we're talking about stress management techniques like meditation, deep breathing, yoga, spending time in nature, or at the ball game, or at the races. Whatever helps unwind you. Now there's some evidence for this kind of thing, although by its very nature, metrics are fuzzy. But it does seem that active stress reduction regulates cortisol levels, reduces inflammation, and promotes overall well-being. But it's not all about activities like Tai Chi, yoga, and NASCAR Zen. It's just as much, or I think maybe even more, about what you don't do. In 2024, and of course for some time now, the world is full of people who make money off of stressing you out. When you spend all that time doom scrolling or worrying about those damn liberals or those damn conservatives or running down conspiracy theory rabbit holes or fretting about the markets or the weather, all the things your worry won't change, well, you're making money for slimy bastards who don't give a shit about you. And you are actually making yourself sick. I need you to knock it off. Now, of course, there are concerns on the horizon. Always have been. Always will be. From minor peculiar details of your personal life all the way to meta monsters like the next election or the heat death of the universe or the cosmic horror of an apparently unending stream of Fast and Furious movies. But there are things you can change and things you can't. Be knowledgeable, be up on things, and for heaven's sake, take care of things that you have to take care of. That ends up being stress reduction too. But knock it off with the doom scrolling and wallowing in worry and anger. These things are actually making you older and sicker and faster. Number 5, maintain a healthy body composition. Now, this is where most physicians and epidemiologists will say to maintain a healthy body weight. But weight and BMI are far too crude as metrics for individual health outcomes or patient-centered decision-making. You know, if your weight isn't going up that much, but your waistline seems to be getting tighter and your shirts are looser across your chest, you've probably taken a wrong turn somewhere. But if your weight is going up while your waistline is staying the same or shrinking, and you need to buy new shirts because your old ones are too tight in the shoulders or arms, or new slacks because your thighs and butt are getting more muscular, well, you're making a very positive difference in your body composition, regardless of your weight. More muscle, more bone, less belly and visceral fat. That's the ticket. These changes can be associated with more or less weight, depending on your starting point as an individual. But make you no mistake, the obesity myth is itself a myth. Obesity is a thing. Sick visceral fat is a thing. Type 2 diabetes is a thing. Poor body composition, irrespective of weight, increases the risk of numerous chronic diseases and accelerates aging. So get a handle on your current body composition and, if necessary, work with qualified medical, nutritional, and fitness professionals to improve it. And you'll be making big strides in healthy aging. Number 6, foster social connections. In general, humans aren't cut out to be hermits. There are exceptions, of course. They're called hermits, but they're just that, exceptions. We are social animals, and what the available biomedical data tells us is that strong social ties are vital for healthy aging. It is part of your training as an athlete of aging to maintain meaningful relationships with family and friends, to participate in social activities, and to engage in community involvement. Social connections provide emotional support, they reduce stress, and they promote a sense of belonging. That's all good. So, do you notice what's happening here? Do you notice how all of these hacks sort of hack into each other? How stress reduction improves health, but social connection improves stress reduction? How stress reduction includes physical activity, and how social interaction can lead to more physical activity? Social interaction can actually have positive effects on our nutrition and even our health surveillance. Friends and family notice when you get a little pale or when you're getting a bit too chunky or otherwise don't look right. We're going to see more of this as we continue down this list. Healthy habits become more mutually reinforcing over time. They connect and form a network of patterns of living. That's just huge. Number 7, Cultivate mental fitness. I mean, you know your brain is a muscle, right? Wrong. It's not a muscle. It's a little like a muscle in that it's made of excitable tissues linked into a somewhat plastic functional architecture. But the plasticity and adaptability and complexity of your brain is incomparably greater. You, the athlete of aging, particularly because of that big old brain of yours, you are the most complex object in the observable universe. So no, not a muscle, but definitely an organ that can and must be trained. We've talked about this before, and if my brain can figure it out, there'll be a link to our video on this subject somewhere on this screen. And get this, training your brain brings in a lot of other healthy habits. Physical activity trains the brain, and so does learning another language, which might well foster both social engagement and stress reduction. Lifelong learning is part of the extreme sport of healthy aging and also part of the prize itself. Human beings are designed to learn things constantly. How can you really be completely healthy and alive if you're not still learning? Engaging in mentally stimulating activities keeps your brain sharp. So read, take courses, learn new physical and mental skills, play games, and engage in social interactions that challenge your mind. These activities promote neuroplasticity, enhance memory, and protect against cognitive decline, which protects against physical decline. It's all building up together, building you up. Starting to feel better about this? Well, then give us a like. And consider helping us make more videos about this stuff by becoming a Patreon and joining the POG, the Patrons of Greysteel, our private Facebook group for athletes of aging. You want to talk about a community? You'll find one there. Well, we make these videos on a shoestring, guys, with a small staff and limited resources. So follow the link, join us, and help us make more content. Okay, back to our list. Number 8, prioritize sleep. Now, we've talked about this elsewhere, so I'm going to keep this one a bit short. But let's be clear. This is a big one. I need you to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Sleep is essential for cellular repair, hormone regulation, and memory consolidation. Chronic sleep deprivation accelerates aging and increases the risk of various health problems. Watch our earlier video on this for more details. But before we move on, let me point out again how integrated sleep is with all these other factors. Sleep promotes learning, it reduces stress, it's essential for recovery from exercise, and so on. Going to bed at a certain time can also have certain social connotations, but that's between y'all. I'll just say, it might be good for you. And sleep can impact nutrition and vice versa. A set bedtime works well with a set supper time. And poor nutritional choices, smoking, and swimming in stress can all have an adverse effect on sleep. Again, we're building an interconnected network of life habits here. Number 9, nourish your body. A balanced and nutrient-rich diet fuels healthy aging. Proper nutrition provides the building blocks for cellular repair, supports immune function, and reduces the risk of chronic diseases. We've talked about all this before, and I definitely recommend that you look at our playlist on nutrition. But come on, guys. If you're watching this channel, you already sort of know this stuff. Everybody sort of knows this stuff. It's just that some folks want to pretend it's not true or ignore it and find some weird trick or superfood that's going to make everything perfect forever. That's not going to work. And you know it's not going to work. You know you have to prioritize fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats. You know you have to severely limit processed foods, eliminate sugary drinks from your life, and look out for low-fiber, starchy carbohydrates, added sugars, and unhealthy fats. This is not rocket science. You want to be an athlete of aging, a specimen of vitality in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond? Then you need to eat like an athlete. And by the way, if you need a little help, we have an online course in nutrition, which we've discounted for the holidays. Link in the doobly-doo. Number 10, embrace movement. You knew this was coming, right? After all, we're talking about you becoming an athlete of aging. And while being an athlete is clearly not just a physical pursuit, but also an intellectual and spiritually meaningful one, athletes don't get far without improving their physical prowess, their physical integrity, their physical health. We have a whole library of videos about this right here on this channel, and a whole book, one that's ranked high at Amazon for fitness and exercise books for almost a decade now. This book has changed a lot of lives, and just a thought, might make a great gift for the holidays. I mean, just saying. The athlete of aging needs both training and practice. Training builds and maintains the athletic attributes needed in all sports, including the extreme sport of aging well. We're talking about strength, power, endurance, balance and mobility, and body composition. Practice is when we take those attributes into the field, into our sport or profession, and into the arena of life. This is you bringing your strength and endurance to cycling, hiking, tennis, swimming, martial arts, playing with your grandkids, surfing, nude volleyball, dancing with your partner, whatever. The particular exercise prescription for the athlete of aging is therefore a serious question. Here's my answer, right here. Bottom line, I think strength training is the cornerstone of any exercise prescription for aging adults. Why? What? How? You'll find the answers to those questions in the correspondingly titled divisions of this book. I hope you check it out. But at the moment, I'd like you to reflect again on how all this ties together. Physical training is always an exploitation of the stress recovery adaptation cycle, which we've talked about here many times. The linchpin of the training process is therefore recovery. Recovery is that part of a training program that happens outside the gym, and it brings in all the stuff we've been talking about. Cigarettes and alcohol interfere with recovery, and so does bad nutrition, and poor sleep, and high levels of psychological and social stress. You name it. Good habits support training, which makes us stronger and smarter, healthier, and more alive. The athlete of aging has to work with all of these recovery factors, every bit as much as we must work with sets and reps and plates and collars we're using in the gym. And so you see, training is the rug that really ties the room together. It brings in everything. Physical and mental training aren't just parts of a lifestyle of healthy aging. Physical and mental training are the lifestyle of healthy aging. There is no other approach. The athlete of aging is just that, an aging adult training for and practicing the extreme sport of aging well, and playing that sport in the arena of time. We do this by minimizing our exposure to toxic substances and situations, by reducing stress and improving sleep, by maintaining our practice and presence in the social arena, and by eating and training like the true athletes that we are. So, like I promised, no weird tricks, no shortcuts, no surprises. There's a part of you that knows all of this. Listen to it. Yeah, it's hard work. But the work gets strangely easier with time and feels a lot less like work as the habits become increasingly integrated and interdependent. Train each habit like you'd train a bench press or your run time. Practice each habit like you practice your backhand or a yoga pose. When you do these things, when you live this way, you're living like an athlete. And that's the one habit that incorporates and unifies all the others. Thanks for watching.